Do you wear orthotics? Have sore feet with your first few steps out of bed? Do you suffer from bunions, plantar fasciitis, Achilles issues, or ankle pain? If that's you, or if you're someone who wears shoes, then keep watching because what I'm about to share may surprise you. And it'll go against everything the big shoe companies keep telling us. These big brands have convinced us that our feet are weak and need cushioning and support. What if this was one big lie to sell us more shoes with more technology that cage and ultimately weaken our feet and ankles? Then we become even more dependent on these high-tech shoes. What if many of us unknowingly choose fashion over function? Take a look at a standard foot and the shoes we put these standard feet into. If you look at our feet, they're shaped like a triangle with the point at our heel and the base of the triangle at the front of the foot. The issue is that conventional shoes resemble a bottom-heavy triangle where the triangle base is at our heel and the point is at our toes. When we squash our upside-down triangle feet into a bottom-heavy triangle shoe, we disturb the natural movement of our foot. We incapacitate the natural ability of our foot to move by putting them in a cast. So when we look at a conventional shoe, the three issues that we will see is that first of all, they have a narrow toe box, the part towards the front. A narrow shoe in this area squeezes the toes together, causing deformities like bunions, issues like plantar fasciitis, and numbness in the toes. We see these issues in the clinic on a daily basis. Secondly, you'll see a lifted heel, which shortens the calf and the Achilles and restricts ankle range of motion, feeding into, again, Achilles tendonitis, another issue we're treating every day. So on top of this, on top of a lifted heel, the sole of the shoe is often thick and stiff, which restricts the natural movement of our foot and its ability to sense and adapt to uneven terrain. This disables our proprioceptive system, reducing our stability, compromising our balance and response time, and then increases the risk of falls. Thirdly, you'll see the good old arch support that weakens our natural foot strength and contributes to flattened feet. Hang on, did I just say that arch support contribute to flat feet? But isn't flat feet the reason why we need arch support or orthotics? Well, that's a whole new video right there. But consider this. What if instead of putting a crutch under our arch, like strong arch support or orthotics, we actually provided an environment where our body could use the intrinsic muscles of our feet and get them working properly to provide stability and protect the supporting tissues, including our fascia, from being tensioned. So, if you're not squishing our feet into a narrow shoe that lifts your heel and chocks up your arch, squashing your toes, what else? Well, we really can't walk around barefoot all the time. But fortunately, there are many forward-thinking shoe manufacturers outside the conventional brands that are providing footwear that ticks all the boxes and allowing our feet to move the way nature designed them. When I'm choosing footwear, the key distinction for me is, does this shoe dictate how my feet move, or do my feet dictate how the shoe moves? So natural or barefoot footwear lets your foot act like it would when barefoot, while providing a single important benefit of the footwear, protecting the sole of the foot from damage from rough terrain, sharp objects, or temperature extremes like hot and cold. So here's the three key features to look out for in good footwear. Number one, they have a wide toe box. So this allows the toes to splay, which frees them to wiggle and move, which is important for balance and arch function. It allows for more blood flow, optimal nerve function, and provides space for the arches to actually support the foot. More width at the front allows the upside down triangle shape of our foot and accommodates a wide base of support, meaning more contact with the ground and more stability. Number two, the sole is flat for a start, and B, it's thin. Flat meaning there's no drop in height from the heel to the toe. Here, the heel and toe are level, as if you're standing on bare feet. This optimizes calf and ankle function and promotes a more natural running and walking technique. They are thin, meaning your foot remains close to the ground. This allows for more communication from the thousands of receptors on the bottom of our feet to communicate with our brain. These receptors are constantly sensing messages and sending them to the brain, so we know how to adjust our body position to the surfaces we're on to remain upright. This has a significant influence on fall prevention as we age and therefore longevity. Number 3, they must be flexible, meaning they have the ability to bend, fold, and twist in all directions to allow the foot to move how it needs to move without compressing the foot or influencing its movement. When our foot is allowed to move naturally, uninhibited by stiff footwear, it'll regain its natural strength and mobility to support itself and the 60 or so kilograms on top of it. Just like my old Subaru Boxer engine, thinner shoes keep you closer to the ground and you're less likely to roll an ankle or fall. So, are you ready to stand on your own 2 feet without orthotics and the high-tech support of these shoe companies? Will you give your feet the space so that they can move and heal themselves? If so, check out barefoot shoes, sometimes called natural or minimalistic shoes. They're in various places on the Gold Coast and in Brisbane that you can try them on. My favourite brands are Leguano, a German brand for everyday wear that are machine washable. Vibram, who make individual toe shoes. They're also machine washable, great for bushwalks and training. And then there's Vivo Barefoot, which makes a variety of shoes for different types of movement. There are important principles to consider when moving from conventional footwear to minimalistic shoes. If you need advice on how to transition to barefoot shoes, chat to us at the clinic to ease your transition to support the feet that support you. If you have any questions on this topic, put a comment in below and we'll jump in and help you out. Thanks for joining me. It's Jess from Head to Toe Health. I hope this has been helpful and it's opened up the conversation around your footwear choices. Take care. Bye for now.